Hey there, this is Christian, and in today's video I want to talk about why you cannot learn to code from online courses. This is gonna be a very controversial topic, but I think it needs to be addressed. I've went and talked about it in the past, but today I want to go a bit deeper. I want to save you a lot of time and energy and a bunch of other things that you'd be wasting if you are approaching learning to code with this method. So let's get started. The first reason for why you shouldn't learn to code from online courses is the fact that you are not getting any nuance to the advice you are getting. So let me explain to you what that means. That instructor that's creating an online course, or maybe that platform that you are using to learn to code, needs to give you very general advice. And that makes a lot of sense because that course needs to reach out to as many people as possible. You need to understand that selling courses, it's a business, and the only way they can scale it if they make the advice very diluted. And if the advice is very diluted and without a lot of nuance, they can sell a lot of copies of that program. And because the program is so diluted, people like it and they buy it, and they'll buy another course and another course from that same author. Basically, this feel good content makes you addicted, makes you think that you are doing something right. But again, if you are going back to the general advice, what's missing is the nuance. Probably you are learning a concept or something along those lines, and whatever the instructor is telling you makes sense. But you still have a few questions. Maybe you want to understand the same thing, but from a different point of view. Maybe you get it 95%, but to truly understand it, you need to understand a concept to 100%. And that's almost impossible with online courses. You'll generally be watching a video, and then you need to do more research on your own. And assuming you know where to look at, that might take you a couple of weeks, a month or 2 months to understand the concept deeply. For example, why do you need to use an array, or why do you need to use an object? When you learn it in the course, it seems very easy, but you don't understand why you need it. So this is really important, understanding why something is there, understanding the nuance for that specific concept. That's really important to have a deep understanding of programming. The next thing that I want to go into is the fact that you don't have any feedback on what you are doing. So you are literally relying on yourself, or if you are lucky enough and the online course or the course platform has a Facebook group or a Slack channel, you can go in there and ask for help. Well, the problem is, as I said in the beginning, these courses are made to reach as many people as possible. So let's say you are taking a course that has 10,000 people enrolled in it. They will all be having questions, and the instructor, if it's kind enough to reply to all these people, he's gonna be overwhelmed by questions. And by the time he will reach your question, you might give up on learning this, or you might find the solution yourself after a few days, or he might forget about it. Again, this is the case where the instructor actually is trying to reply to all questions. But another thing that I can think of is that other beginners are gonna try to help you. And that's really nice and kind from them. But again, these people, they don't have knowledge. They are in the same boat as you. They are beginners. They are not experienced programmers to help you understand what you're doing. So you need to rely on an instructor if he has time to reply to your question, or you need to rely on the other people in the coding groups, or you have to rely on yourself, that you have the ability to judge if what you're doing is good or bad. Maybe you've noticed this as well. You are buying a course and everything seems fine, especially if you're learning HTML and CSS, which are quite easy and trivial to learn. But when you get into JavaScript and you have your first roadblock, like how can I start my own application, or how do I put these concepts into practice, these concepts that I've been learning for the past 3 months, The sad part is that you cannot develop your problem solving skills by watching content. It's impossible. It's like learning to swim from watching YouTube videos. Yes, maybe you have the theory, but you actually need to swim. And if you got the theory wrong, you might drown. The next bad part is the mindset. Let's say you manage to learn to code and to build a portfolio, but you'll never feel good enough to start applying for jobs. You'll feel like an imposter probably, you'll feel like you are a fraud basically, and to stop doing that, you'll go back to learn more and learn more and learn more. This is such a common thing. When you want to become a junior developer, you don't want to learn a lot of things. You want to learn a few things, but deeply. Yeah. If you learn a few things, but deeply, when you'll be in front of that person that's going to interview you, you will be able to have a very, very good conversation about your skills. Another bad thing that I see a lot is that people are coming to an interview with me, people that want to get their first junior developer job, and they come to apply to my company. I interview them and they show me applications that they've copy pasted from those online courses, and I reject them straight away. I have to be honest, because I know that if they cannot make something on their own, even if it's something simple, I know I cannot trust them with a large code base. There is so much fluff around in the self-taught environment because there are so many technologies out there, and it's almost impossible to understand what you need to know and what is optional. And a lot of times people are focusing on the optional rather than the essential. Yeah, maybe you are making this mistake as well. Instead of learning JavaScript deeply and mastering a framework, let's say, instead of learning JavaScript and React, you want to learn JavaScript, React, Redux, Node.js, MongoDB, Express, Redis, Stripe. You are trying to learn all these things in the shortest period of time, but you cannot go deeply with any of those things. And a big problem that I can see right there is that you don't understand how those technologies work on a bigger scale. You only know how they work in some pet project, in some small to medium project. And instead of learning 6 technologies in a medium project, you should learn 3 technologies in a small to medium project. In that way, you can have a very deep understanding how those things work. You'll be able to perform really well in an interview, and you'll be able to perform really well in your job. That's why I'm saying get your job first, then learn other things. Funny enough, when you become a developer, you'll be paid to learn. For example, when I started working for a company last year, I didn't know TypeScript, so they paid my salary to learn TypeScript. So that's how I added a new skill set. That's how I added a new skill set on my CV, which is really great. That's why I like this software development thing. Once you get in, which is the hardest part, everything is going to be really easy for you. You are literally having no limit on how high you are able to go. You can, after you get your first junior developer job, you can decide, hey, do I want to work with this company and become a senior there? Yes, you can do that. Or do I want to become a freelancer and take clients from all over the world? You can do that. Do you want to start your own company? You can do that. Literally the richest people in the world are the CEOs of Google, Facebook, Microsoft. I don't have another one in mind right now, but you get the point, right? So once you learn how to build software, and if you learn how to build it correctly, and if you learn how to build it as fast as possible without wasting your time on online courses, then you can actually make a great impact in your life first, but then if you go on the route of building software for more people, starting your own company, you can impact the life of others, millions and billions at a time. So if you think that you would like to learn to code, maybe you are new and never written a line of code in your life, or if you already started but you are stuck in that dreadful tutorial hell, you are literally spinning your wheels like crazy, you have no idea how to apply any of the knowledge you've been learning so far, you can find the link in the description. Click on it, go on the web page, read what's on that web page, watch the video, then you can apply for a consultation call with me or someone from my team. We'll look at your goals and the problems you are facing right now, and we'll make a step-by-step plan for you to learn to code and to get your first job in tech. Until next time, Christian.